So now let's talk about Life Path 9. Life Path 9 is a beautiful number. It is sort of the completion number. It is the last number in the core 9 numbers of life paths, and it is a highly it's a highly evolved number, because if you think about a 9, every number, like if you add one number, let's say you add a 1 to a 9, right? It then becomes 10, which then reflects back the 1, right? If you add a 2 to a 9, it becomes 11. 11 is a 1 plus 1, which equals 2. So every number can be added into the number 9, which reflects its original number. And what's so neat about that is a Life Path 9 has the ability to pull from all 9, or I should say all additional 8 experiences. So they're typically older souls that have sort of cycled through the different previous life path numbers, and they're able to pull the energy or the knowledge that they've experienced through those other life paths into this one. So they tend to be really good at a lot of things. If they have an interest in something, they can become very good at it. They also are, it's known as the humanitarian number, right? So they are deep feelers, and they care deeply for the collective or for humanity as a whole. A great example of that would be Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was a Life Path 9. She did have other 9 numbers in her chart, so that wasn't the only 9. But they are here, they feel and care deeply about things or people or purposes or something along those lines. And so many times they find themselves drawn towards some kind of work in that. And it doesn't mean that they have to become a humanitarian, but they make great spiritual leaders. They make, like I said, they encompass all of them. So all the numbers. So they can really become really good at whatever they want. But they're very creative. They have a very loving, open heart. It's called altruistic, which means, I have a hard time saying that word. They are very selfless in the way they do things and the way they perceive things. So almost always, when they're looking at doing something, it's not for themselves, but it's for the betterment of everyone. And that's also part of the shadow of them, is they have to make sure that a Life Path 9 doesn't do it in, help others to the detriment of hurting themselves. So they have to make sure that they care for themselves. They're also deeply private. They don't want anyone to worry or, worry about them. So they many times will keep their own struggles private. And so Life Path 9s are really here to give back and to they're extremely wise beyond their years. You'll probably know your Life Path 9 before you know the numbers that your Life Path 9, because you're typically the person that people come up to and open up about very deep things and are asking for advice. And it may even be just someone that you didn't even know. People naturally just feel very comfortable and want to naturally open up to you and are seeking you out for your wisdom, because you have a lot of wisdom to share in a lot of different avenues. They're very romantic. They're a very forgiving number. So they easily forgive and they easily forget. They're charismatic. They make great salespeople. And so they're deeply caring, deeply charismatic, artistic.